I'm here to primarily talk about what fuels Avo, right? And why you should be rest assured when you start utilizing Avo for your needs, testing needs, why you can be confident to your customers. Because many of your customers are adopting the platform which is fueling Avo, so you can be very, very confident that there is a lot of work which has happened between the technology organization of Avo and Oracle team to actually put together the whole solution together. So I was introduced, I head the country for the OCI business. I'm based out of Delhi. So again, thanks to the Avo team for inviting us for this. But there are really 4 elements, and I'm very, very happy. I've been, out of my entire career, I've been in the cloud space for the last 18 years, and I'm telling you, I'm so glad to see a lot of innovation happening out of India. And by innovation, because we have been using this term loosely for many, many years, when I say innovation, when I go to US now, right, I clearly see that India is looked as the next country which is going to fuel a lot of tech platforms, right? India is moving away from just being a developer country to a more core engineering country, which is what is expected. In fact, when I was talking to my JPAC president, his name is Garrett, and Larry himself asked him twice, right, in 2 weeks, that what's happening with the product vendors out of India. Because this is the next generation. And there's a lot of reports that you will read about. But there are really 4 critical pillars for creating a great next generation platform which will go and serve the world. Not just India or not just Indian customers, but the global largest of the customers out there, right? So there are 4 really key elements. Accelerating innovation, right? You have been using a lot of tools, methods, processes. All those things needs to be embraced the same way, right? The learning curve has to be really, really small. This went away. The screen went away. Anyway, I'll continue. Cloud is the thing, right? You can no longer ignore cloud. There was a time when the question used to be, why cloud? That why cloud discussion is no longer there, right? Why now not cloud is what everybody is asking for, right? Even to the most traditional companies that you will find out there, everybody gets question now, why not cloud, right? So you need to adopt best-in-cloud services, automate, streamline DevOps. This has become pretty much the mantra. You need to reduce the risk, right? So any platform that you're adopting, right, even for Avo for that matter, you need to reduce the risk of lock-in with any vendor for that matter. Eliminate security risk. Security becomes very, very critical. When you're going and testing for your customers or you're deploying any mission-critical applications, irrespective of vertical, security is the thing that everybody talks about. So that's the reducing risk part of it. Profit is extremely critical. See, a lot of automation that Ramesh also talked about, a lot of this automation is talked about primarily from a perspective of how you can do more with less. What all you can automate so that you don't have to really go through that pain of putting people after people after people, right? There has to be a lot of things that we need to do, right? Reduce the overall administration costs, right? When you adopt Avo, you don't have to really focus on the underlying infrastructure. While you do have option of working with tools which you are deploying on-prem, on your workstations, on your servers, et cetera, but you can adopt that as a SaaS. And then obviously the customer experience becomes extremely, extremely critical as well. So these are the 4 key pillars, and these are the things that we work with Avo to make sure that they are able to leverage and focus on all those 4 areas, leveraging Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, right? This is our IaaS and PaaS business of Oracle, while Oracle has a very large portfolio of things. So just touching upon high level on each of these aspects, and if you guys are interested in deep dive conversation on any of these topics, I'll be around. I'm happy to engage. I'm just being respectful of time because I have 15 minutes to complete this. So one, the innovation has to be very, very simple. You should be able to adopt technologies right, or Avo for that matter, should be able to adopt technologies as it is with minimal efforts, right? And that's where Oracle has done a lot of work. We support open source in a very, very big way. But we have done a lot of work, like, say, example, Kubernetes. When the Oracle Kubernetes doesn't has its own standards, we are adopting to the upstream standards which has been created so that you don't have to go and write new codes adopting a platform. And more importantly, it should be easy for Avo to move out, should there be a better option than OCI. Right? So that's what Oracle is focusing on, so that you are not getting logged in with us, and it should not restrict your innovation. Second, the security, reducing the risk part of security, right? It's a big plus with OCI. So when you are adopting Avo, and if you come questions around security of the overall platform, feel free to engage with the Avo team, and we'll be very, very willing to work with them to make sure that we are able to communicate that to our joint customers. We are way ahead, right? We offer zero trust by default. All the security components are delivered to you as a ready thing. You don't have to really go and start focusing on, especially when you're dealing with, because I had run a team, a service delivery team, wherein testing was a small portion before joining Oracle. And I can tell you that out there, we used to always get asked questions. Which technology you are using? How is it secure, not secure, especially if you're dealing with G2K, right? Global 2000 or Fortune 500 customers. Security becomes a very important thing. So it is on by default. So those elements are already embedded when you're adopting Avo, right? So that is something that you can be rest assured about. Increasing customer TCV, right? So most of the cloud providers give you the availability SLAs. Oracle Cloud is very different by that way. We offer you 2 additional SLAs, which is performance SLAs. So we guarantee performance, right? So if you are adopting Avo, you can be rest assured about the performance levels which are committed to you. And there are manageability SLAs also that we provide, which is very unique to Oracle. No other cloud provider, whether it is AWS or Google or anybody, they don't provide any of those things. Performance becomes critical, right? The pace at which you are able to do your job becomes extremely, extremely critical. And that's where Oracle has gone about redefining, re-engineering, and rewriting the way networking happens. So we offer, we call it essentially non-hopping, non-blocking networks, right, in high-level term. It essentially means that for any 2 devices to connect between a data center, it doesn't take more than 2 hops. That has a huge, huge performance impact. The closest cloud has to go through 8 hops between 2 devices within one data center. So your performance can go up by at least 15–20%. I can tell you, like, out of 10 customers that I would have met, 9 have complimented me about performance. 1 did not compliment, but did not have anything wrong to say about us as well. So it's actually a pretty good thing. It can also help you in terms of your customer experience, right, which is extremely critical. The other thing is, when you adopt Avo, because it's running on OCI, right, your overall TCO for your customers also comes down because we are significantly cheaper, right? There is significant cost advantage that Oracle offers, right? We are cheaper by 30%. It actually differs between the architectures, different architecture. In some cases, we have also seen 50% saving. In some cases, we have seen 20% saving, right? But on an average, 30% saving. And why? It's not a market acquisition strategy. It's because the way we have written the cloud is very fundamentally different to the other clouds. So just to give you one high-level example, we have something which we call as off-box virtualization. So when you are running any of the application on us, right, we do virtualization differently. So the entire control plane is run on a different box, which reduces the cost. So which is essentially 30% of the cost. So if you are adopting any other cloud, right? What happens is the control plane runs on the compute that is being used. So because of which, so essentially, it's like, if I have to give you one example, as simple as this, like say if I run a restaurant, and if you come to dine there, so I give you a menu, you order whatever food you order, and in my bill, I start asking you, by the way, you need to give money for the rental for chair, rental for AC, rental for XYZ. That's my cost, actually, to run the restaurant, right? So that cost has been passed on because that's how the traditional clouds were written. In Oracle, in Gen 2 Cloud, this has been done differently. So there are a lot of different things that you can see, right, which can significantly reduce at least the cloud part of the cost by significant margin, which can allow you to, potentially when you're bidding with Avo, you will win more deals because the overall TCO for your customers or for your bids will come down because of the cloud cost also. This is Avo's SaaS journey that we have worked with Avo's team. So what I'm saying is the reason I have this slide on is to tell you that there's a lot of work which has gone beyond this, right? There's a lot of work. So when you adopt Avo, you can be very, very confident that other than the value that Avo brings, the entire underlying infrastructure, underlying platform is well tested. And it's a continuous exercise. It's not like a one-time exercise. We'll keep working with their team to make sure that all the aspects and all the improvements keeps happening. As we innovate, we are making sure those innovation goes into Avo platform as well. So that's the primary reason that we have this slide. This activity may or may not impact you directly because you're adopting Avo, not OCI as a platform. You may not be working on that on a daily basis. There's a lot of work which is going on with especially Adiga and his team. We are obviously very, very different, right? And I'm happy to have those conversations on sideline, not now, but we are also very different. So we do understand the needs of every step of life cycle of a product or a software that you're writing, right? So we are not just a cloud platform company. We are primarily an application company which also has a very strong cloud platform, IS and SaaS business. Obviously, with the Gen 2, we have vision to deliver a very strong, he's apparently my ex-colleague, Clay, from my AWS days. So we have a vision to actually provide a most complete cloud platform. This slide I have primarily to tell you the momentum, because many of these will be your customers and many more, right? I just have one slide, and this is the last slide, primarily just to tell you the momentum. So Ramesh was talking about Uber. Uber, I think it's almost 6 months back. This is the Uber CEO. They have announced that they are going to standardize on OCI. So if Uber is your customer, good time to start delivering projects on Avo, leveraging OCI. Because that's going to be their standard. AT&T, well, the example here is Mexico, but AT&T has signed a very, very substantially large deal with us. Diksha is the Ministry of Education portal here, which is used by 205 million students every year in India. Very, very large adoption. Another interesting one there, Microsoft. So for the Bing, this is almost like 3-4 weeks back, they announced that they will be using OCI for all the conversational search on Bing. Likewise, I can keep naming a lot of customers who are adopting OCI in a big way. So the message to you is Avo and Oracle is a very strong partnership. We are working very, very closely to make sure that their innovations and their platform is rock solid. And if you choose to adopt Avo for your testing platforms, you can be rest assured. And we'll make sure that along with the Avo team, we support you in whatever your journey in adoption of or delivering a great project to your customers. With that, thank you very much. And thank you for your inviting me as well.